Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Karkadash, Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, and name of Mashiach Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Balash Wakadash Lotan. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit down lesson of this recent news article from fmagc.org, if I pronounced that right, from the World News as of May the 8th, 2025, and it reads, it says North Korea launched multiple ballistic missiles, amending rising tensions. It says Japan and South Korea responded swiftly as North Korea missile tests escalate security concerns in the region. It says May the 8th, 2025, the Minister of Defense of Japan announced that North Korea launched multiple ballistic missiles, marking a significant escalation in the region tensions. The announcement were made at 9:25 a.m. and 9:44 and 11:07 a.m. confirming that the missiles were fired towards the northeastern vicinity of the North Korea's east coast between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. One of the missiles launched around 9:20 a.m. Reportedly flew approximately 800 kilometers at a maximum altitude about 100 kilometers before falling into the Sea of Japan, outside Japan's exclusive economic zone, the EEZ, according to the ministers of the defense. There is a possibility that the missile followed in an irregular trajectory, if I pronounced it right. It says a further analysis is ongoing. It says the Japanese governor has taken immediate action in response to this incident. They introduced officials to the focus on gathering analysts information, ensuring prompting accurate communications with the public, in addition and emphasizing the importance of conforming the safety and aircraft and vessels in the area are being prepared for unseen circumstances. The Minister of Defense says further directly that Japan must work closely with the United States and South Korea to enhance the information gathering and analyst efforts. He stated that the vigilance must be maintained to prevent any unexpected incidents. It says in a statement, Japan's government condemned North Korea's actions, asserting that such missile launch threatened the peace and stability of Japan, the region, and the international community. They highlighted that these actions violate the relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions and pose a serious issue regarding the safety in Japanese people. Right, and keep this in mind. I would say like last year, if I'm not mistaken, you had they had some type of evacuation test just in case Japan come under a missile attack, or they go to some type of crisis or situation that they have to do. Then they had some type of evacuation test. What they had, I would say, like a year and a half ago, because on a consistent basis, like every year, been seeing North Korea been firing off their missiles over there in the eastern shores of Japan, and then you had Japan officials and government, there was on high alert of that, for the past couple of years, and as of recently, So, I just want to add a side note to that. It says, as a precautionary measures that Japan Coastal Guard is urging vessels in the vicinity to remain alert and report any sightings of a falling object to ensure safety at the sea. It says the government has not yet received any reports of damaging or incidents related to the missile launch. It says, meanwhile, South Korea military corroborate if I pronounce that right. It says Japan's reports that North Korea has launched several. It says the Japanese government has reiterated its commitment to protecting the lives and property of its citizens, that they plan to continue close cooperation with the U.S. and South Korea to monitor the situation closely and will promptly share any additional information becomes available. The international communities have been closely watching North Korea's missiles activities, right, which they've been doing for many years now, as recently. It says which they've been monitoring their military exercise drills as well too. And you've been seeing the increasing of the military exercise drills from South Korea, Japan, and the United States as well too. As the tensions have been heating up between North Korea versus South Korea, Japan, and the United States for many years now, since the both the Trump administrations and Biden administrations as well too. As an added side note to that. And it says, in recent years, North Korea conducted numerous missile tests, often defiance of international sanctions and diplomatic efforts aimed to deneutralize the current situation underscores the challenges faced by regional powers in addressing North Korea's ambitions. It says, as tensions rise, analysts suggested that the diplomatic channels must remain open to prevent further escalations. It says this need for dialogue and negotiations is critical to achieve the last peace and stability in the region. It says in a summary, the missile launched by North Korea on May the 8th has prompted swift response both Japan and South Korea, with a focus on ensuring safety and security in the region. The international communities continues to monitor the situation closely, emphasizing that the importance. I don't know why I just keep on doing that. That's valid right there. It says the community monitoring the situation closely, emphasizing the importance of diplomatic solutions, mitigating the risk posed by North Korea's military activities. Yeah, this is the book of Matthew. Yeah, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. Right, this is a sign of wars, rumors of wars, which is a rumor of war in the news. Because, we've been hearing about this many years and increasing rumors of these wars, rumors of wars between, North Korea versus South Korea, Japan, and the United States, as you've been seeing, on and off, back and forth throughout the years. North Korea been launching their missiles in the Korea and over there in, in the Korean Peninsula and over there in the eastern shores of Japan as well too. As both sides been doing military exercise drills, like I mentioned before, throughout the years and as recently. So ever since then, tensions definitely been heating up on both sides of North Korea. Definitely North Korea and South Korea as well too. I would say approximately like for the last 2 years, those tensions have been rising up definitely between North Korea and South Korea, the neighboring countries of North Korea and South Korea, right along with North Korea, South Korea, Japan, the United States as well too. So these are increasing signs of modern day wars, rumors of wars, which we're seeing. It says Matthew 24 verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Matthew 24 verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation. Right, that's what we're seeing. North Korea firing off their missiles over there in the eastern shores of Japan, and having the Japanese residents on high alert. As I mentioned before, they did a evacuation exercise like a couple of years back, and they definitely on high alert. As you've been seeing, the Japanese government governors have mentioned that they've been highly monitoring North Korea's every military activities over there in the Korean Peninsula as well too. Yep, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, what goes into ethnos. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of this recent news article. As once again, which is typical, it's nothing new, but as of recently, I would say, yeah, because I believe this for the past, ever since January and March, North Korea been firing a missiles. So this been, for the past 2.5 months ever since they launched some missiles in March. So once again, they test them once again. Because I believe like a couple of days ago, North Korea fired off their upgradable cruise missiles, launching as well too. So that shows you that North Korea is in that warlike mindset as they continue to upgrade their nuclear capability, even though they've been getting getting hit with hardcore, hit with sanctions from the Western countries, and that's kind of similar to Iran, just like Iran, they was getting hit with economic sanctions, for them to destabilize that nuclear capability. And keep this in mind, I would say day before yesterday, I had mentioned this about the representation from Russia was saying that what's that Iran and all these other nations have, they have they have a chance to build up their nuclear program. They have a right to do so. They've been hit with economic sanctions to further decline their nuclear capability. So as we've been seeing the alliance between China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, with the ongoing tensions that they had towards the West, and these countries have been using economic sanctions on them as a sad note to them. Yep. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. As I mentioned before, I had to add a sad note to that, as this news article from the World News, May the 8th, 2025, from the EVRIM, magci.org, as of May the 8th, 2025, and it reads again, North Korea launched multiple ballistic missiles, amending wise intentions. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Akakadash, and the Heavenly Father. The true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, and Mashiach Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last one Kadash tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles of Akim Aqua. Till next time, I will say Shalom. That's human nature. But when you stay free flowing, you're going to be okay. And you have to believe, you have to have a